Your wrap up for 2024 elections this morning. Big wins for Republicans across the state of Ohio and the nation. We're taking a closer look at those results right now. Tracy.
All right, let's start with the big one. Former President Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States. Here's a look at the electoral map. But here's a look at the numbers. 277 electoral votes to Vice President Harris's 224. So now you see that Donald Trump has been named president, has been elected president of the United States. So we'll call him president-elect. We'll be talking a bit about that. Now, we want to take a closer look at what happened here in our state. So you see us here, Ohio, with our 17 electoral votes. And so 7 counties went blue here, but the majority of those are red. So we are a reliably red state as it happens these days. Donald Trump won big here. Those blue pockets were in the major cities, as many of you know, tends to happen here in our state. Let's talk about the Senate race here in Ohio, because that was really very key. All right, so let's go to U.S. Senate, and you see Bernie Moreno won that seat. He beat the incumbent Sherrod Brown, and so he had 50.2% to Sherrod Brown's 46.4%, and so that's going to change the balance of power in the Senate. The Senate is going to be leaning Republican with about 51 of those 100 seats there. In the House, the Republicans have the upper hand. Let me go back to my map here and look at the balance of power. So we talked about the Senate. Let's look at the House. As you can see, this is the latest on the numbers there. 435 seats there, and Republicans will have the upper hand over the Democrats. Do the math there. It's just about 20 seats. 218 is what one party needs to control the vote there right now. Republicans are coming in with that 183. We'll have to update that for you. The next race is issue 1. That's, of course, a race here at home. And so we'll go to our state of Ohio issues. Issue 1 did go down. 53% of our voters here in Ohio said no to that one. And you can see how that one played out. Again, reflecting what tends to happen in our state, with the green cities here indicating the big metropolitan areas. And they were outvoted by our reliably red areas around the collar and outlying counties in our state. Now, there were also the 3 Ohio Supreme Court races this election. Their term, so to speak, commences on January 1st. Let's look at that. And we'll start with the first one, Megan Shanahan, 55%, over 55%, beating Michael Donnelly. The next one, Joseph Deters. That name may be familiar to you. He was a Hamilton County prosecutor. He's on the Supreme Court now. He beat Melody Stewart. And then we also have Daniel Hawkins. All 3 Republicans will be serving their next term on the court. It starts on January 2nd. And so you see the winners there. And all of that going to the Republicans. We are going to continue to cover all of the numbers as everything comes in. So we'll update our big board for you. In the meantime, Jay is going to pick up our coverage from here.
Tracy, thank you. We do have team coverage this morning. Here's a closer look at the Ohio Senate race between Bernie Moreno and incumbent Sherrod Brown. But first, let's take a look at the next vice president of the U.S., Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. 10 TV's Kiara Lake is live at the State House with what this means not just for the state, but for the country. Kiara, good morning.
Yeah, this is a big moment for J.D. Vance, who rose quickly in politics, starting his journey in this world in 2021, and then was elected or nominated as the next his running mate for Trump, and that was in July. And now, like you just said, he is the next vice president of the United States. Now, since Trump selected Vance, he made campaign stops across the Buckeye State and the country. But Vance and Trump didn't always see eye to eye. Back in 2016, Vance called Trump dangerous and unfit for office, but reversed his opinion by the time he met Trump in 2021. And in 2022, Vance was elected as the U.S. Senator for Ohio. And once elected, Vance became a fierce Trump ally, increasingly defending Trump's policies.
And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
And there was another big win for Republicans during this election, and that was for the state Senate seat, which was won by Bernie Moreno. Now, 10 TV's Kristen McFarland joins us now live with more on his victory. Kristen.
Kiara, yeah, good morning. You said it, a win for the Republican Party yesterday. For the first time in years, U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown defeated, having held the position since 2007 in what's been called the most expensive Senate race in history, costing more than $400 million. Now, yesterday, businessman Bernie Moreno celebrated his victory and pledged to serve all Ohioans, while a disappointed Sherrod Brown vowed to not give up fighting for his supporters. Here's what both Moreno and Brown had to say.
We just changed the Republican control of the Senate. We just flipped the Senate from Democrat to Republican. It was always going to be tough. But look, I've taken on tough battles in the past, and this is no different. But I'm more energized to go out there and get to work for the American people and the people of Ohio than I've ever been.
We may be tempted to say hope was not enough. We might be tempted to second guess ourselves and question whether we worked hard enough or long enough. That is not our story tonight.
Now, Moreno was born in Colombia and will be the first Latino to represent Ohio in the Senate. Before entering politics, he was a car dealer in Northeast Ohio. Reporting live from the Board of Elections, Kristen McFarland, 10 TV News.